Show and tell.
Show and tell. Copycat. No, big debate here. Yeah. Big lawsuit. TaylorMade is suing COSTCO for copyright infringement.
I got to ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
If you take away the COSTCO and the TaylorMade and you just looked at those two pictures, which one do you think is which?
You wouldn't have a way to know.
Oh, no. I think what you're asking, because I was going to bring up a point. Before we do that, you guys want to explain the litigation? Because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So
I get where you're going. I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, TaylorMade is basically suing them for copyright infringement on some key pieces. Like, basically, it's the same design as far as the tungsten insert, the speed foam.
I say, to quote their lawsuit, their key points is the hollow iron design, the dampening filler material, the iron with separate club face, welding methods for face insert, and positioning of internal weighting within a hollow iron. Those are the key factors that they are suing.
The only one they're going to win on in that sense, because how many companies have hollow body irons?
Almost
Single one.
Everybody.
Okay, so that was just trash to throw in there. So they're only going to win on the actual like welding portion, the things like that.
To be honest, the kickers are also suing them for false advertisement claims as well too.
Oh yeah.
I think that's where they've got a better chance. Well, realistically, nothing's going to happen out of this in court. They're never going to make it to a courtroom.
No, because they're hoping that they just flood.
This will be settled out of court.
Yeah.
I mean, COSTCO made how much money last year?
I think they were the third highest grossing company or something.
They sell a lot of mayonnaise.
They sell a lot of stuff.
You know,
they're going to give TaylorMade their $15, $20, $35 million out of court and just say, go on and do your own thing.
Heck yeah.
And be done with it. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
I mean, that's what happened with the
Cushnet. That's what's happened with every. I mean, several other companies have sued COSTCO.
Gotcha.
You
the
know.
golf ball thing.
yeah.
And what did Cushnet get them on with the golf ball? So Cushnet sued them for patent infringements as well too, but also for false advertisement claims as well, because on the boxes they printed that their golf ball was as good or better than the number one ball in golf. Which, okay, make that claim, but you better have some results, some research to back that claim up.
They didn't have the research, so that's why they
they settled out of court.
Yeah.
So they proved who the number one ball in golf was.
They didn't.
So
Tyler Cushnet didn't have to prove who the number one ball in golf was. All they had to prove is that COSTCO did not know.
who the number one ball was?
COSTCO didn't do any testing to back that claim.
They didn't have any way to back up their claims. That's now false advertisement. You're making a false claim.
So now
And that's what they'll end up getting them on.
back
on
to the
this,
TaylorMade,
is like a
because
technicality of a
I
false
think
claim.
this is where my dad was trying to get to. You take these names away. Build quality, which one looks better?
The one on the right.
The one on the right?
Yeah. Because you have more design going into the club head.
I get that. I'm just saying.
Because there's more going on inside that
And again,
hollow.
this is just pure just by the looks of it. The TaylorMade looks gross. That doesn't like how it's not. And maybe
there's not a constant foam all the way up the face of the club.
There's not even a constant foam within the iron.
For one thing, I would say this. We don't know how that club head was cut open.
Trust me.
I saw it.
I get that.
It was a
actually,
table saw.
They did a video.
And
it was a bandsaw.
Yeah, it could have
a circular saw, wasn't it?
No, just a bandsaw.
It could have pulled some of that material out as it was cutting.
I agree. I agree. But I'm just saying, just looking at this, I mean,
I do think.
Trust me, we all know the TaylorMade's a way better iron. The P790 is TaylorMade's best iron they've had for now.
Realistically speaking, you can't make a claim that a golf club that costs a third of the price of its original design is going to perform as good or better than the original design. That being said, realistically, the average person is going to look at these two golf clubs and they're going to think that they are essentially the same thing. Yeah. And that to me is a design and like patent infringement.
The COSTCO version has a polymer insert injected mold, and then that's a speed foam. Is it
like urethane?
It's a urethane. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I could see if they're going to get them on verbiage. You can't say that, but I mean, I think Ping would like to have Ping, the original answer putter, would have to have a lot of conversations with a lot of modern day putter builders right now.
See, that's a little bit.
That's
a little bit different.
Everything started from the answer.
I don't think that's the same argument though.
Oh no, I'm just saying that it's not the same
Because I know because no
but
other team, no other people are saying this putter's better than a Ping.
It was for exactly, but
saying
also
verbiage,
too, they
that's
all
why.
have come up with their own manufacturing process for that as well too. The original Ping putters are just poured into a cast mold and cast.
Right.
Everyone else, like Scotty Cameron, they always give him crap about having the same design as the Ping Answer, but he tweaked the design a little bit.
Yeah,
Like he made his own proportions.
He put 3 dots on it. Okay.
He changed the size of the club head, the proportions of it, the bumpers, shaping of them have moved, and then he milled it from a piece of billet.
Correct. But
So the construction process changed.
But in golf, it's always happened. Where did Nike's first band of irons go?
Design is derivative
It
in
came
everything.
right the same thing from Titleist. When Tiger played Titleist, and then he made the jump to Nike, what did he do? Nike, build this. And Nike built it.
That's what I say. Design is derivative.
So I just think they got.
It's no different than the
feelings
Apex
hurt.
19s came from Nike because all the Nike players, a lot of Nike players switched to Callaway.
TaylorMade got their feelings hurt. And
so this is kind of also the main point of it too is in, and this is what I was reading about in patent infringement cases. The way our court system has been ruling in it, it's not enough to just broadly state that like someone has infringed upon your patents. You got to point out specifically what they have done. And I think in this case, that's where they're going to lose out in this battle. Because if we look at those 2 irons, they're not exactly identical. Like the process may be the same, the actual, like the broad strokes are the same, but they're different.
Does any other company use a insert in their hollow body iron?
I mean, everyone has something inside.
Oh, okay. So it's just not
If you
purely
don't,
hollow.
it's going to sound. Yeah, if you don't, it's going to sound like a baseball bat.
Okay.
There has to be some kind of a
That'd be
damping
awesome.
material to make
That
it
would be
sound
awesome.
like an iron.
Hey, I think a market is there.
Like the old Sasquatch driver.
There's still some SQ drivers out there.
So that's why I say I think this will. There obviously is something there.
Or the
They'll
sumo.
settle out of court like it always happens, and we'll forget about it in a
Okay,
year.
say your grade and move on.
Yep. Par.
and then their plant will burn down in
This
China.
is the cost of doing business in the U.S. basically.
Duck and cover.
It's got to be especially for miles.
I like those.
I'm gonna.
What are they made of?
I don't hate very often or
It looks
throw
like
shade, but
Sherpas.
Yeah, like almost like lamb's wool.
This looks like I belong in Oregon or California.
Yeah. Definitely looks like
That
Pacific
doesn't
Northwest.
scream Aiken, South Carolina to
No,
you?
and it definitely has
Because
this
that's
like
where that course is.
Patagonia granola vibe
like
to
North
it.
Face jacket, you know. Yeah.
So there's a company that makes very similar head covers. The head cover market is flooded.
Yeah.
We've known that for how long now?
Yeah.
There's a company that I actually got. I ended up returning it because it was already like fraying, but like North Coast covers. It's in the name, kind of makes sense, right? It's like a Pacific Northwest style cover. I like that style of head cover, but
I just know they got so much room for their logo in to get better than just putting a patch on it. I like the design of it. I almost feel like I can take the driver off, put it on my hand, and then wash my car with it.
you mean dry off your
It's
car.
a multi-function
Or
head
clean my
cover.
like
clubs,
it.
with it or something like that.
Or just keep your hands warm.
What do you
Like,
think? What do you think
those are
happens
mitts.
like in the rain when they get
you could go
wet?
skiing with those, like little ski mitts, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, multi-purpose.
Okay,
We're on to something here.
Very versatile. I give them a par. I think it's a great effort. I think it brings something different to the market.
I think the Tree Farms logo is top notch and more. So like that's their main logo. That's the logo, the swinging tree.
Yeah.
Bogey.
Par.
Give it a birdie. It's cool. Like them. I mean, I'd put it on my head cover.
How much do you think those are in the shop for?
How much, if I look at it and think it's in the shop for, I would think $35 to $40, but realistically, I know it's probably in that $85 to $100
that's right.
range.
Yeah.
What's the driver one looks a little short.
Yeah, that may not be a driver. You don't know, Steve.
Might be. Well, these might be mitts.
Yeah.
We just don't know. Oh, what?
Hello.
Diamonds are forever, right?
Is that
Very
their
philosophical.
new endeavor, or is this a
This is old.
one?
Nah.
Just
Because
something
I knew
finished.
MacGregor was coming back out. They were trying to.
Well, they are coming
Right.
back out with like a hollow body.
Yeah, they're
right.
basically, I think, part of the new Hogan that's coming out. The Ben
Are they?
Hogan company's coming
Yeah.
out. They're owned by the same company, at least, anyway. But no,
Dunlop.
this is older.
Great looking blade.
Yeah. What do you think about the build?
I think it'd be
Because obviously this person has had them looks like they've had them refinished, and obviously they got BB&F Co Ferrules, so they've had them rebuilt.
I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah,
Man, it's a good set of irons.
I'll say that's.
If you can hit them, you're a better player.
I like those irons.
they look really good.
Yeah.
You know what the M1 originally stood for in these?
No.
Nope.
The flex of the shaft.
Really?
Yeah, M1 was their stiff flex.
Okay.
Why they stamped it on the head, I'm not sure. But
I was gonna say. I mean, that's
I give it a birdie.
yeah, give it a birdie.
Yep.
par.
Par.
I mean, yeah.
Flush.
Flush.
Old school.
What for? Just because it's old school?
I mean, somebody took the time.
Is there a Don White?
I mean,
Is there a Don White stamp on it?
I was fixed to say, I'm going flush on these.
Yeah.
All right, and there's a reason why. There's a really
Yeah.
small
I was
detail
gonna say,
nobody
I
else
just-
picked up on.
Whoa!
You
did.
finally did.
I did it.
But on the bottom club here, you can just barely see there's a DW stamped on the heel.
Don White.
These were ground by the legendary Don White iron grinder at
He is
MacGregor.
the best iron shaper. Well, I know
debatable
that's
on
debatable,
that,
but
Yeah.
still to this day, I mean,
Woo! Got a little rag egg on.
hey,
Yeah, I'm on.
if you see that DW on the stamp of clubs, you know that there's some thought.
You don't get
and-
rid of those.
Yeah.
He ground irons for Jack Nicklaus and during his
as we
heyday.
learned earlier in the podcast, you can't say somebody's the best.
Not for your. That's
All right, so be
Yeah,
careful.
without backing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
I mean,
claim
well,
there.
But no, that's a flush for me. I just
Yeah, they're flush for a lot of reasons. Number one, I've always liked the diamond muscle backs. I like having old golf clubs refreshed and refinished like that with the BBF Co Ferrules. I think it's a cool build. And then they're
just
Don
make sure
Whites.
someone turns ferrules for these.
I was gonna say, it looks like they need to go on the belt
The
again.
very good
but-
job.
They need to be rebuilt because there's some gapping, and then the ferrules weren't turned. But
Yeah.
par.
DWs, they're flush.
Agree to disagree.
Last one.
Agree to disagree.
I really like that fair.
I still threw my head. Like I'm still wondering how this worked.
So the way this worked is he had BB&F Co make some custom ferrules for him in a 335 to use for fairway woods and drivers.
Yeah.
So they're not 370 or 355 taper tips. They're a smaller
They're 335.
smaller internal diameter. Yeah.
I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
I was like, I don't know why it's taking us this long to get to this. I like this. From the time I found BB&F Co Ferrules, I was like, why don't we have 335?
You know what I think would look really good on is if you have a bonded fairway wood.
No, that would look, yeah, that would look good.
Yeah, I like it. Flush.
it's not really coming up much higher than the band would anyway.
Nah.
Right. Above the
You don't-
adapter.
yeah.
So
and
you
this,
know.
and I think if you're kind of wishy washy about custom ferrules in general, you don't see them when you're over the ball.
Yeah, if
or
you're-
I should say, as a teacher, you shouldn't.
I'll say, if you're
You
paying
shouldn't-
attention
if you're
to
paying
it, then
attention to that part of your
You
golf
need to look at what you're
word.
focusing on.
I think driver fairway wood, it's kind of like those 2-inch ferrules that you put on the wedges at one time.
Yep.
Is that you really don't see them.
But
Just eye
they
candy.
are seen.
They are there.
So, no, that's why you put them on your stuff, is so other people see them.
Yeah.
You know, but I love it. I think it's a flush.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
say-
Flush.
Yeah, flush it.
BB and FCO, send us some
I say, Patrick, you
335.
got to get those out to market quicker. I want some for my drivers.
Agreed.
Not singular, plural.
So you got 10 shafts. You got 10 shafts. I need 10 different
Which
ones.
one are you using this week?
I'll be using the same one, but I mean,
That
It
would
just
be-
took a long time to get here.
we're not going to talk about the basically fit cart of shafts I have in my closet from testing stuff.
That's how you decide which one you're going to play.
Yeah.
What ferrule you're playing today?
Oh, yeah, that's
Driver.
right.
Oh, I'm playing this one.
Well, I think that's it for this week. We appreciate everybody listening. And if you would, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure you get those push bell notifications, and we'll see you next week.